Hey all, this is Nisha again. So far in the video series we have seen what is communication, what are the types of communication and what are the barriers in communication. So we will have a short glimpse about the recap. Communication is something that we use to transfer the message or information from one person to the other person is called communication. And coming back to the types of communication, there are two types of communication: verbal communication and non-verbal communication. As name says, in verbal communication we use words to communicate, and in non-verbal communication we will not use words to communicate. For example, in verbal communication, it can be a conversation between both the person or writing a mail or a letter format. It comes under the verbal communication. In non-verbal communication, it can be like posture, gesture, body movements, hand movements, and the sounds and actions that they do, or everything falls under the non-verbal communication. So we have seen the barriers of communication already. What is a barrier? First of all, barrier is something that which is making us to stop without coming as a best outcome, right? Yes, in that cases, a good communicator will have some barriers. So that inbuilt barrier must be broken by themselves first. It can be the inferiority complex of being a good communicator. In that stage, they should break that barrier as a first thing. They should not make themselves feel low, or they should not have a sense that I can't do it, I can't speak in front of anyone. So this should be broken in the initial stage. So let me list out what are the barriers as a student they are facing. First thing is the inferiority complex, and second thing is hesitation. That kind of hesitation will make them to stop being a good communicator later. So let me give you a short tips to become a good communicator. First of all, what is a good communicator? Do you think that the one who is conveying the messages very rapidly without making any grammatical error is called a good communicator? Yes, obviously they are a good communicator, but everyone can be a good communicator. In what way is that matters, right? Yeah, one who makes someone understand what they feel, their thoughts or their emotions is called a good communicator. For example, a teacher or a faculty is taking a lecture to their students. In that time, the mentality of a faculty will be that the concept that the faculty have dealt with should be conveyed to the student in an understanding manner. Once the student understood the whole concept, then the concept has delivered good and the faculty have conveyed the information or that content in a better way. So then that faculty will be a good communicator, right? Yes, so that the main concept is that I should express my own feelings to you and that you should be capable of understanding that. So in that way, a concept or thought or information or message should be transferred to the next person. Now let me tell you some tips to become a good communicator. Good communicator in the sense not like a Hitler, but a student who can communicate in front of everyone. So that they should have an interest within themselves first. That interest should be created by themselves in the initial stage. That interest will be created when a student was inspired by someone who is having a good communication skill. And it doesn't mean that that inspired person should have a good communication without making mistake. No, that is not a right answer. A good communicator is one in the initial stages will make mistake and learn from it, right? So likewise, the same should be applicable for that student, and the student will really will make mistake in the initial stages and learn it in the later phase. So make mistake and learn from that mistake, but that mistake sense should never bring a hesitation in a student's mentality to give up that English language. So second thing is you should have a regular practice. That practice might be you can watch n number of series or English videos or lectures regarding something, and next is you should have some good person who you can communicate with them in English. So in this way, the communication in the real time will bring you so much of impact for your real life. if you have any opportunity to speak with someone in English, just utilize that, so that you will have a connectivity of speaking them in English, and that will increase the chance of making you in a good touch. So when you can't accidentally speak with someone in a good English, so you should have a real touch with that language, then you can present it in a good manner. So these are the basic tips. So first of all, have a practice, have someone whom you inspired, and just have a conversation, watch videos like in English. So this will help you in many ways. I hope my lecture series have helped you, will help you in future also. Thank you.